That's why I've gotten to the place as a pastor, Brother Don, that I said I don't longer want a bunch of fans following and saying how much they enjoy my ministry. I'm not no longer in agreement. I'm no longer in support of people that just want to sit and enjoy the benefits when they ain't done no work. I am now in a place where I know that them that suffer with me will then have the right to what? Reign with me. I know that I have the ability to do the impossible because of what God has promised me. But I refuse to allow my coattail to be ridden by folk who ain't willing to invest like I invest. Amen. I'm talking to a few people that are in this house today, and God has given you visions. God has given you dreams. And now you're in a place where you're starting to realize that your success, hear me, has exposed the true character of them that are around you. You got quiet in here. Your success will expose the true character of them that you got around you. That's why I learned, that I was telling people in Sunday school today, Don, I said, you know what? I've learned something as a pastor and as an employer, that you cannot hire loyalty. Ain't enough money in the world to make somebody be loyal to your vision. You want to know how committed somebody is? Stop the money. Well, Pastor, God is taking me in a different place. The Lord told me to go this way. But why is that important for you? How does that equate to this situation? Because this woman with an issue of blood, it's interesting that normally a woman would only survive if she was connected to somebody, but the text doesn't give any way that anybody came with her. And so the problem is, let me say it this way to you. Whenever you're truly in God, God will put you in situations that were beyond your control that will leave you isolated. Because what's going to happen in your process of maturity is God is going to see, are you more confident in the things I gave you to help, to move you to that destiny? Or are you going to be more confident in the one who gave you all things? See, the problem with some of you all, you forget the model of Jesus. Jesus himself, the one we follow, the one we worship, right? He's the one that we lift up and all on high. Let me explain to you about his circle of friends. In the 12 folk that he had hanging around him, one person betrayed him, and at the end of the day at the cross, there was only one left to even stand with him. Jesus, if Jesus could point loyal folk out in his life, then what makes you think you can? Quiet. All right. Is this thing on? And so if you follow Jesus genuinely, you will find out that it's just you and him. My youth director used to tell me this, Sister Olivia, she used to tell me this. He said, listen, I don't care who you think are your friends. All you got is your mama and Jesus. I don't care who you think will be with you. All you got is your mama and Jesus. And sometimes your mama Okay, the next verse says, and suffered many things from great affliction. Watch this. 27. She had heard the report that Jesus came up. She heard the reports about Jesus and came up behind him and to touch his garment. But watch this. Let me explain something again about the condition. You know what one of the worst things in the world, Brother Don, is that not only when you understand your identity in Christ, but then all of a sudden God puts you through an affliction and then your condition becomes public. So I want you all to see this one. Now, it was old school, so it wasn't like, she just had a nice little shield, a little tampon, and nobody could see it, and nobody could see the blood. She had on a robe, and she'd been bleeding like this for 12 years. And so imagine just coming in the crowd, trying to get to Jesus. People around her saying, y'all smell that? You smell that? What's that on the ground? Some of you have gone through situations where now when you show up somewhere in public, they say, y'all smell that? Do you see that? Where'd that come from? And it's amazing to me because this woman showed something that we all as saints need. She said, you know what? I don't care what I smell like. I don't care what I look like. I don't care about what they're saying to me, because I heard that there was somebody who could fix my circumstance and my situation. So I'd rather be ostracized. I'd rather be talked about. I'd rather be on everybody's list. But if I can just make it to Jesus, if I can just press beyond the opinions of others, if I can just get to that place where he is. See, some of you got discouraged because somebody began to realize that your lights were out in your house. Some of you got discouraged because the folk that used to amen you and stand with you ain't there no more. Some of you done got discouraged now because they know that your name is being talked about, but yet and still, if you learn to press beyond the opinions of others, I promise you, you'll find healing and help for your situation. But the question is, do you have enough tenacity to make it beyond the opinions of others? Now, I know this may be not for everybody in here, but maybe just a few folk. Maybe just me and Brother Dante. Brother Dante, I know none of these folks in here have ever been talked about. I know nobody in this room have ever been lied on, mistreated, talked about, right? Nobody's ever gone through that type of offense. And so maybe just me and you understand what it is to be discouraged by folk who were supposed to be supporting us. You know the reason why a person can stab you with a knife? You ever thought about that? What it takes for somebody to stab you with a knife? You ever thought about that, Mindy? Watch this. Stand up real quick. Stand up real quick. Watch this. The thing about a gun is that I could be almost anywhere in this room, right? And take her out. But the only way I can stab her is to be close to her. And so you can't see a long-range dart of an opinion or a lie. You know, sometimes you can't see that coming. You got to wait till it gets to you. But many of us have stab wounds because we were not discerning or too trusting, and we allowed the enemy in to cut us. See, the difference between a stab wound and a gunshot, you got to be direct to make sure that it does what it needs to do. But all you got to do is get that knife in and twist, and that wound ain't going to close. Some of you are still dealing with the struggles of not necessarily that it was the person lying about you that you didn't even know about. It was the person talking about you didn't even know existed. But it was the person who was right there in your house who you actually gave money to, and that's why you couldn't pay your bills. That actually took the knife and turned it in you and let that wound open. And that's the reason why you say, well, I just don't trust nobody. I don't want nobody close to me. I've come to tell somebody in this room, you need to let the wound heal. I understand that they were close to you. I know they had no business putting your stuff out there. But you will never make it to Jesus until you let that wound heal. Because the only way Jesus can heal you is if he gets what? Close to you. It got quiet in here. Y'all all right? Or y'all having flashbacks? There you go. Now, so she heard report 27, and then she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment, and she said, watch this, if I can just touch his garment. Now, I want to talk about persistence in this particular part, because this is the part that really blessed me, because she realized that there were a lot of people in the way of her and Jesus. And Kathy, and the thing that really blessed me is the fact that she said, look, I'm trying to go this way. Oh, this big joker right here. I can't get past him. All right, wait a minute. I got to go this way. Oh, there's another person in the way touching Jesus. I got to keep moving until I can find a way, because the Bible never tells you that the crowd dissipated or she waited for Pope to move out the way. But what happened is she persisted and said, if I can just get to him, I don't care who I got to push out the way. I don't care what I got to go through. If I can just make it. Some of you are right now in a place where you're at the crossroad of your ministry, your decision in a vision, your decision in a business, your decision with a person. And you say, should I pursue it or should I let it go? I've come to let somebody know, if you give up now after everything you've gone through, if you give up now after all the scars you got from pushing the crowd out the way, if you give up now, you will miss the deliverance. See, the problem with us versus that woman, she gave up looking for relief. For 12 years to be bleeding that way, You can get some type of, towel. You can get maybe some natural herb that may slow the process down, but it's not going to fix the issue. And so there comes a time in the life of you all as believers where you have to say, I no longer want relief, I need deliverance. Amen. I no longer want a Band-Aid from my medicine cabinet. I want this problem to stop. And so she said, you know what, I am committed that if I can push my way past these momentary light afflictions, if I can get past this moment of suffering, I know that the battle will be, I know I'm bleeding more than normal. I know I'm suffering more than I normally do. I know that this experience is becoming overwhelming. But I believe if I can just push beyond what I'm feeling and experiencing right now, I can find a deliverance that will last forever. Yes. Amen. Amen. And this is what the woman did. She touched. She pressed her way. And then finally, she got in the face. Stand up, Dante. Watch this. She finally got to the place of Jesus. And this is where a lot of churches are right now. This is where a lot of people are. You done fought. You done did all we need to do. We done got past all the foolishness. We done got past all the stress. And now we're in the face of Jesus and we don't engage him. I submit to you this. She would have never gotten healed until she touched. No. Let me say it this way. Some of you get right into the church and then when it's time for prayer, you don't move. When it's time for praise and worship, you don't engage. Your deliverance will never happen while you sit on the sideline of your faith. You sit right here saying, look at the praise team go. Look at Donna and they just playing their heart out. Praise God. And all you're doing is just sitting there. You done finally pressed it. You didn't think you were going to stay alive the week, let alone make it into the church one more time. And now you done made it to the altar and you're not even engaging Jesus. Your deliverance is one step of engagement away. I didn't come here today to be religious. I didn't come here to do this because I had nothing else to do. I came to this church because I heard that Jesus was here. And I heard that Jesus was able to fix whatever I was going through. I heard that Jesus was able to not only comfort me, but he was able to get rid of the thing that was causing me discomfort. I heard that Jesus was able to fix the struggle that messed up my finances. I heard that Jesus was able to take care of that situation that was clogging my health. I heard that he was able, but now that I'm here, I will not go until he bless me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage him. I wish I had some Jacob folk in the house today. I wish I had some folk that were like Jacob today. They're saying, watch, come here, Dante, here. Come on, keep walking. Walk past me. See, look, I don't know where you think you're going, Jesus. I ain't leaving this place, and you ain't leaving this place until I get my miracle. You can walk all around here, you can touch as many folk as you want, but you better know that as far as you go, I'm going to be on your back, hold on you until I get completely free. I didn't stay this long to think that I'm going to leave the same way I came in, but there are too many folk in this church that give up before they even try to engage Jesus. And that's why you got to take your faith by the hands and say, listen, I done been through this struggle before. I done been to this place before. I done made it to this church and there wasn't nothing available. But I heard that Jesus was going to be here today. And right now in this moment, I am ready to engage him. And look, he ain't leaving till I get my miracle. There may be somebody here today. Can you get this for me, Joe? There may be somebody here today as you stand to your feet that would admit with me that, you know what, I just realized, you're right, Pastor. I'm not going to stay in another service and Jesus not fix it for me. I said, listen, God, you're my plan A and my plan B. Let me say this. Some of you are right now in this church and you're doubting, and you're discouraged, and you're stressed. Why spend another day like that when Jesus is here to fix it for you? How many of you all believe that God is able? If you believe that God is able, and you have a need in your life, I dare you. I dare you to tell God, listen, you are my only resort. Forget a last resort. I need you to fix it for me. If that's you today, and you know you need God to do it, I dare you to get to this altar. I dare you.